Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite Shalom to elect among the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Meaning they're Israelites, and Shalom to the real sisters out there. Alright, today I'm going to get into basically I want to go basically it's going to be a lesson on basically how this damn devil, is the fucking serpent, how he's the serpent. I came across this article, where Esau is claiming that he found that he and these so-called Japanese Ammonite researchers, of course, can have heathens assisting, that he found these frogs Slovakia, my bad. It's algae in a Japanese pond, random pond in Japan, and supposedly, it's basically it has a male, female, and bisexual zygotes or whatever, and one the male can mate with female with the male, the bisexual can mate with both, and just now they're going to say, oh, this shows that it's more common in nature. Like, was of course no proof whatsoever. You're supposed to just take their word for it. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. This devil, man, he's a serpent, man. It got me thinking, man. Everybody's supposed to trust all these so-called scientists and shit without questioning them. When you go into the word of science, it goes into the Latin word for knowledge. It actually traces back to it. It comes from the Latin word for knowledge. So they're calling themselves the knowledgeists, The people basically know how, the people that believe in knowledge and, push it and spread it, they're calling themselves that, while just cooking up theories. And, that's it. Hey, man, philosophies, all the same thing. And that's what, when you go back to the garden, the knowledge, these different trees represented these different nations that was around, man. These family trees, man. And it's common, by the way, it's common in the Bible for trees to represent different nations. So it's also true here, man. And so you had this tree, a tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You had the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The knowledge of good and evil, there you go, man. These devils was claiming to have the knowledge of good and evil. The knowledge of what's good for you and the knowledge of what is bad for you. Ain't that what these so-called scientists claim to have? These devils. Slacker. Really, I should have paused it. But you know, back on that, back where I was at. You know, they claim to have basically knowledge of good and evil. You look at it. You know, they claim that, and so you know, see the similarities there. You know, and they you know, you look at the fruit. The fruit was desired. You know, my physical sword is kind of damaged, and yeah, my physical sword is kind of damaged, so I can't bring out that scripture. But Genesis chapter 3, verses on down, where it talk about, you know, basically the fruit. You know, fruit was desired to make one wise. You know, what was basically, you know, basically, okay, it was pleasant to the eyes, and desired to make one wise. You know, so basically, you know, these philosophies, these theories that they come up with to justify, you know, going off, you know, like that one. You know, the LGBTQ XYZ, you know, alphabet boys and girls, you know, the pronoun crowd, right? You know them. Shit, Salaki. What do you think they're gonna do with this shit, man? You know, they're gonna take it and they're gonna run with it. They're gonna run marathons with it. You know, because, you know, this is more justification for them to come at us and to come at people that disapprove of that so-called lifestyle. It's really death style. And say, see, if algae can do it, if it's algae that are born that way, and they were saying in the article it occurs more often in nature. If algae is born that way, then and it occurs more often in nature than what we think, then hey, people might be born that way. You know, to further push that narrative that basically they're trying to say that people are naturally, you know, they're naturally sodomites, that there's people that are naturally sodomites, like it is actually, you know, in their genes and shit, you know, and not only that, it's perfectly natural. Well, yeah, you know, that's what they're trying to push, you know, but yeah, you know, you see that more and more, man. See that more and more. There's just more propaganda, you know, to push that homosexual agenda, man. And Esau was getting cussed out in the comment board. And you look at that. Look at that RT News article, you know, that was posted. You know, they post them on YouTube and shit, the different articles that they come out with. You look in the comment board, and Esau was getting cussed out, you know, even by his own. You know, these devils were getting cussed out. Because, you know, this devil, you know, who is that old serpent, you know, he's Satan, he's an adversary. He's the physical sons of the spiritual demon Satan on earth. You know, he's being exposed, man, as the wicked. As Esau. as the wicked. You know, some people ain't taking heed to what this devil has to say no more. You know, not like they used to. You know, in fact, let me get that. You know, that old serpent, right? Revelation 12:9. And the great dragon was cast down, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. You know, that great dragon, that old serpent, you know, that devil, you know, deceiver, false accuser, is what the word devil means. And Satan, you know, that adversary, which deceiveth the whole world. You know, just look around you. The philosophies of this self-proclaimed so-called white man are everywhere. You know, everywhere, you know. Which deceiveth the whole world, you know, in some way or form, okay? Of course, Ishmael, you know, they ain't as down with it as much. You know, Elam, parts of, like the so-called Iranians, okay, so-called Pakistanis, and you know, even Afghan, you know them, man, and as well as the so-called North Koreans, they ain't as down with it as much. But you know what? Even in countries like that, you will see aspects of it. You know, some of the philosophies. You know, shit. Communism itself they came up with it, you know, as well as capitalism. They came up with both. So it's really has these devils really have deceived the whole world. You know, especially concerning our people. These so-called black people, Latinos, and Native Americans primarily, but also the speckled birds that look like the other nations, scattered among them, you know, to the four corners. Specifically concerning our people, we relied on our people a lot. But these devils, you know, which with all these philosophies, all these scientific quote-unquote theories, right? You know, they're always trying to discredit the Bible. You know, they're always trying to discredit the Bible, man. In one way or form, one way form or fashion. They're always trying to do that. You know, so this, you know, he's truly adversary. You know, he's truly the devil. He's that old serpent. You know, coming up with whole scientific theories. You know, doing whole fake studies or whatever, or alter studies. You know, they alter the fucking results and shit. You know, just to, you know, forging shit. You know, that was a forger of lies. You know, forging shit forging evidence, you know, of his lies, just to deceive you, just to get you to want to go off. You know, to be all right with it. You know, for Job 10, you know, actually it's not in Job 10. Let me get where it said that. Job chapter 13, where Job is calling these devils, you know, these Edomites, forgers of lies. Job chapter 13, verse 4. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Forgers of lies, man. They create lies, you know, like it's an art form. You're all physicians of no value. These scientists, what do they claim? What do they claim? To be doctors, right? They claim to be doctors and shit. I have a doctorate in this, a doctorate in that, a doctorate in political science or whatever, you know? Because even that is a type of science. Even that is, political knowledge. But they claim to have that knowledge on lock, They claim to have all that knowledge. And if they don't, they finna get it. They gonna be the first ones. And if you don't go to them, they claim you are pushing pseudoscience. They claim that you pushing medical misinfo. You're a quack, man, because you're not approved by the American Medical Association. If you you didn't get it from the serpent, that's what they hit you with, man. You didn't get it from these physicians of no value. Verse 5, oh, that ye would altogether hold your peace, and it should be your wisdom. Because these devils, man, they ain't really got no wisdom, man. They ain't got no wisdom. They children of fools. But the thing about them is they're real crafty, Just just like the serpent, man. A serpent is known for being crafty, by the way. Known for being sneaky. Motherfuckers sneak up on you and shit. Snakes, hey, there's a reason why you have that saying. There's snakes in the grass. That's why I cut it low. You have the saying in the world. That's exactly how, the nature of a snake is. And that's how this snake-like man, this snake-ass nigga, Esau, that's how he is. A deceiver. And let me get something else I could get. These how these motherfuckers work. Well, that was pretty good. Well, Job went into him in chapter 13. Went into him pretty good. Good. That's an accurate description of him. Forgers of lies. This Esau right here. Yeah, this is how Esau, who's that old serpent, this is how this is how he crept up on Eve, gave these philosophies. This is what he did. Verse 21, the words of his, this is how he did it, Verse 21 of Psalms 55, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Just like the serpent. He was like, but ye shall not surely die. You shall not surely die. That was a lie that he told. He slipped it in. We would know good and evil. That's true. And, we knew good, and then after biting the fruit, which is symbolic of buying into these philosophies, we knew the evil. The creature was subject to vanity. But, the part about, and we was There's already gods, because when you get into Psalms, you know, there's that verse in Psalms that talk about hold on. Hold on. Can't really look it up with this setup, so let me do this. Let me get it. Let me get hold on. Psalms 82, verse 6, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Verse 7, yes, there you go. You know, verse 7, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. So there you go, man. There you go. He was lying about you ain't finna die. You know, because that's exactly, look at what's going on today. You know, it's even worse than back then. Death all over the place. We in the valley of the shadow of death. You know, so that was a cunningly devised fable. You know, just like this shit right here.